It started with silence. Not the kind you hear when a room goes quiet. Not the kind that comes after a storm or during a pause in a movie. This was different. It felt heavy, like the whole world had stopped breathing. Lisa Jones sat at her desk, in the deep space listening station near Las Vegas. She worked late most nights listening to the stars. Not music, actual stars, signals from far away. Things no one could see but some people could hear. She sipped her coffee and looked at the screen in front of her. The usual hum of distant radio waves was gone. All of it. Nothing. Just static. "That's weird," she said out loud. Her co-worker, Danny Reyes, looked up from his own monitor. "What's wrong?" "Nothing," Lisa said. "There's nothing." He frowned. "You sure you didn't break the system again?" She rolled her eyes. "No, I didn't break it. It's just quiet, too quiet." Just then the main display lit up. Red warning signs blinked across the screen. Unidentified objects detected. Multiple incoming. Orbit level. Danny leaned forward. "Okay, that's new." Lisa typed fast. They pulled up images from the satellite array above Earth. What they saw made both of them stop. Black shapes. Huge ones. Dozens of them. Just floating above the planet. No engines burning, no lights, no movement. Just there. "Those aren't ours," Danny whispered. "Nope," Lisa said. "And they weren't. Here 5 minutes ago." The phone started ringing, alarms went off. People ran into the control room. "Contact Mission Control," someone shouted. "Get the President. Alert the United Nations." But before anyone could do anything, the message came. It wasn't a radio signal or a video. It was inside, every speaker, every phone, every TV. A voice, cold, calm, clear. "You will kneel or you will burn." Then silence again. Only this time, no one wanted to hear anything else. Across the world, people looked up. In Beijing, a man dropped his teacup. In London, a schoolteacher froze mid-lesson. In New York, kids pointed at the sky. The ships were visible now. Dark, silent, unmoving. And then they moved. Without warning, beams of light shot down from the largest ship. They hit cities, not random places. Big ones: Los Angeles, Tokyo, Cairo, Moscow. Buildings exploded. Fire rose. Smoke filled the skies. People screamed. Governments tried to respond. Planes took off. Missiles launched. None of them made it close. The alien ships absorbed the attacks like raindrops on glass. Then the voice came again. "You will kneel or you will burn." This time more voices joined it, speaking the same words in every language on Earth. Everyone heard it, everyone understood, and everyone was afraid. In Washington, the president stood in the war room. Generals, scientists, and advisors surrounded him. "We need to fight back," General Carter said. "Now." "How?" the Secretary of Defense asked. "Our weapons don't even touch them." "Then we run," someone else said. "Evacuate major cities, move underground." "That won't save us," another voice said. "They'll find us wherever we go." Everyone looked at the president. His name was Harold Bennett. He wasn't a soldier, wasn't a scientist, he was a lawyer, a talker, a deal maker. But right now there was no deal to make. He looked at the screen showing the destruction. "Are we sure they want to destroy us?" he asked. "They're bombing cities," someone replied. "Seems pretty clear." "Or they're trying to scare us," he said. "Maybe they want us to give up." "Well, it's working," someone muttered. Bennett turned to the head of intelligence. "Can we communicate with them?" "We don't know how," she said. "They don't use any known frequency. We can't send anything they'll understand." He nodded slowly. "Then maybe we don't answer." The room fell silent. "What are you saying?" General Carter asked. "I'm saying we don't give them what they want," Bennett said. "If they want fear, we don't give it to them. If they want surrender, we don't give that either." "So what do we do?" someone asked. He looked at the map of the world on the wall. "All the countries, all the borders, all the fighting. We stop being divided," he said. "We stop being easy targets." He turned to the group. We become something else. Meanwhile, in Texas, a man named Luke Harper watched the news with his wife and 2 kids. He used to be a Marine, retired now. Lived off-grid with his family, grew his own food, kept guns under the bed, always ready. His wife, Maria, held their youngest child close. "Do you think they'll come here?" she asked. "Don't know," he said. "But if they do, we'll be ready." His son, Jake, looked up. "Are they aliens?" "Looks like it," Luke said. "Like from the movies?" "Kind of," Luke said. "But real." Jake swallowed hard. Maria looked at her husband. "You're thinking about going back, aren't you?" He didn't answer right away. "Someone has to fight," he said finally. "Might as well be me." In Colorado, Amanda Cruz worked in a secret lab under the mountains. She was an engineer. Smart, quiet, focused. Right now she was staring at a strange signal pattern on her computer screen. "This isn't normal," she said to herself. Next to her, Dr. Eli Parker walked in. He was older, gray hair, tired eyes. "You see it too?" he asked. "Yeah," she said. "This signal, it's not just noise, it's structured. Almost like code." He nodded. "I've been seeing the same thing from other satellites. They're sending something, not just threats, data. What for?" "Maybe they're watching us," he said. "Learning." "Why?" "Because they don't understand us," he said. "And that scares them." Amanda thought about that. Aliens. Invading. Scared of humans? Maybe there was hope after all. Back in Washington, the president called for a global emergency meeting. Every country joined through secure lines. Leaders argued, panicked, blamed each other. Bennett waited until the EI noise died down, then he spoke. "We have 2 choices," he said. "We run or we fight." "Fight how?" someone asked. "Our weapons don't work." "Then we change the rules," Bennett said. Silence. He continued. "They want us to be afraid. They want us to surrender. So we do the opposite." "And what's that?" someone asked. He looked at the camera. "At the world. We disappear." More silence. "What do you mean?" a leader from Germany asked. "We shut everything down," he said. "Lights, radars, satellites, power grids, everything. That would leave us blind," someone said. "Better blind than dead," Bennett said. "If they can't see us, they can't target us." Some laughed, others shook their heads, but a few listened. "Think about it," the president said. "They rely on sensors, heat, light, movement. What if we take all of that away?" General Carter looked at him. "You're talking about a global blackout." "Yes," Bennett said. "Total, complete, immediate." "And what happens after that?" someone asked. "We hide," he said. "We learn, we plan, and when the time comes," he paused. "We show them what happens when you try to scare humans." Hours later, the order went out. Power plants shut down. Satellites powered off. Streetlights went dark. Cities became black holes. From space, the planet went quiet. No signals. No light. No sound. Earth vanished. The Virex looked down and found nothing. They searched, scanned, probed. Nothing. Confusion spread among their ranks. Their leaders sent messages. Target status, unknown. Planetary interference, high. Recommendation, investigate. But no one knew what to expect. On Earth, people huddled in basements and bunkers. Some cried, some prayed, others smiled, because for the first time since the invasion began, humans were in control. The world went dark, not just at night, not just in one city or country. All of it. Every light, every signal, every hum of power. It started with the big cities, Los Angeles, London, Tokyo. Streetlights died, TV towers shut down, satellites powered off. Even small towns followed. Farms, gas stations, houses, everything went black. People whispered in fear. Some cried. Others watched the sky, waiting for the aliens to strike again. But the aliens didn't come, because they couldn't see. In Texas, Luke Harper sat on his porch with a pair of old binoculars. He scanned the sky. Nothing but stars. His son, Jake, stood beside him. "Did we win?" the boy asked. "No," Luke said, "but we made them blind." Inside, Maria lit a candle. The house was cold but safe. "How long can we live like this?" she asked. "As long as we have to," Luke said. He looked at the map on the table. Red marks showed where alien ships hovered. They hadn't moved since the blackout. Something was happening up there. And down here, something else was starting. In Colorado, Amanda Cruz and Dr. Eli Parker worked in the underground lab. The only light came from their screens and a few battery lamps. Amanda typed fast. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. "This is working," she said. "They can't track us anymore." Eli looked over her shoulder. "Good, now we need to make sure they don't find us again." He pointed at a new line of data. "They're sending probes. Small ones, trying to find heat sources." "Then we hide better," Amanda said. She pulled up blueprints, plans for low power, shelters, thermal blankets, sound dampeners. Eli smiled. "You think ahead?" "Have to," she said. "We're not hiding forever." "No," Eli said. "Just long enough to learn how to fight back." Back in Washington, President Harold Bennett sat in a dim room. No windows, no cameras, just maps and people. General Carter stood beside him. "We did it," Carter said. "We vanished." "For now," Bennett said. "But how long before they adapt?" "Could be hours," Carter said. "Could be days." Bennett nodded. "Then we use that time." He turned to the group. "We don't wait for them to find us again," he said. "We find them first." A woman raised her hand. Her name was Tina Rogers. Young, smart, hacker. "I might know how," she said. Everyone turned to her. "Tell us," Bennett said. Tina took a deep breath. "The Virex use signals, encrypted ones. I've been watching them. If I can crack the code, maybe I can listen in." "Can you do it?" Carter asked. "Give me a week," she said. "Maybe less." "Do it," Bennett said. Tina nodded and walked out. On the alien ships, things were different. The Virex had never seen this before. No enemy had ever hidden so well. Their sensors found nothing. No energy. No movement. No life signs. One of their commanders, known only as Shadow Voice, spoke. "Target has disappeared. What is protocol?" Another voice replied. "Search and destroy." Shadow Voice hesitated. "But target is unseen." "Then make them visible." The Virex launched small drones into the atmosphere. They looked like birds, silent, fast, invisible to humans. They searched for heat, for movement, for any sign of life. Most found nothing, but one drone passed over a mountain range in Colorado. It paused. Something below gave off a tiny amount of warmth. Not much, but enough. In the underground lab, Amanda's screen beeped. "Uh-oh," she said. Eli looked over. "What is it?" "We've got company," she said. "One of their scouts." "How far?" "About 10 miles out," she said. "Moving slow." Eli grabbed a radio. "We need to warn the others." Amanda tapped a few keys. "I'll try to jam its signal." "Good," Eli said. "I'll get the team ready." They ran through the halls, scientists, engineers, soldiers, everyone prepared. This was the first real test. Would the blackout keep them safe? Or would the aliens find them after all? Meanwhile, in Texas, Luke got a call. It wasn't from the government. It was from an old friend. "Hey, Marine," the voice said. "You still alive?" Luke smiled. "Barely. Who is this?" "Logan. Remember me? We served together in Afghanistan." "Yeah," Luke said. "What are you doing calling me now?" "Heard about the blackout," Logan said. "Heard you might be heading north." "Depends," Luke said. "Where are you going?" "Colorado," Logan said. "There's a base there, scientists, fighters. They're building something." "Like what?" "Like a plan," Logan said. "To hit back." Luke looked at his family. Maria held Jake close. "I'll be there," Luke said. He hung up. Then, he turned to his wife. "I have to go," he said. Maria nodded. "I know." Jake looked up. "Can I come?" "Next time," Luke said. "You stay here. Protect your mom." Jake tried to smile. "Okay." Luke packed a bag, checked his gear, kissed his wife. Then he walked into the dark. In Washington, Tina Rogers worked nonstop. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. Lines of code filled the screen. She listened to the alien signals, decoded bits of data. Piece by piece, she learned more. Names, commands, locations, and then a message. Unit 740, contact lost, suspected human interference. She froze. They knew. They knew someone was listening. She backed out of the system, wiped her trace, but it was too late. From space, a command was sent. Activate infrared sweep. Begin planetary scan. The Virex were adapting. They wouldn't be blind for long. At the Colorado lab, alarms blared. "They're scanning," Amanda said. "They're looking for heat." Eli ran to the control panel. "Shut everything down. Now." Lights went out. Machines powered off. Generators stopped. The whole base went cold. Outside, the alien drone hovered. It scanned. Searched. Nothing. Slowly it turned and flew away. Inside, everyone let out a breath. "That was close," Amanda said. Eli nodded. "Too close." They had minutes, maybe seconds. They needed to move, to hide, better. And they needed help. Fast. In Texas, Luke drove through the night. The roads were empty. No traffic, no lights, just silence. He thought about the war, about the aliens, about what they were facing. He wasn't scared, not really. He'd fought before. This was just another battle. Only this time, he wasn't fighting for a flag. He was fighting for people, for families, for kids like Jake. He pressed the gas. Ahead, the mountains waited, and with them, hope. Back in Washington, President Bennett called another meeting. "They're adapting," he said. "We don't have much time." General Carter nodded. "We need to act now." "What's the plan?" someone asked. Bennett looked around the room. "We start hitting them," he said. "Small. Quiet. Smart." "Hit who?" someone asked. "Anyone we can find," Bennett said. "We make them afraid." Silence. Then Carter spoke. "Then we begin the hunt." Hours later, the first attack happened. A small team in Canada disabled an alien probe. Another team in Africa destroyed a landing pod before it touched ground. And in Colorado, Luke arrived at the lab. He looked around. Scientists, hackers, soldiers, all of them ready. He smiled. "Looks like the party's just getting started." The war had changed. It was no longer about big battles or loud explosions. Now it was quiet. Fast. Deadly. Humans didn't fight the aliens head-on. They struck from the dark, hit and run. Vanish before the enemy could react. Small teams moved across the country. Some were soldiers. Some were scientists. Others were just regular people who wanted to fight back. And in Colorado, one of those teams was getting ready for something big. Luke Harper stood with Amanda Cruz and Dr. Eli Parker in the underground. Lab maps covered the walls. Lines showed alien movement. Red dots marked where drones had been seen. "We have a chance," Luke said. "But only if we move fast." Amanda pointed at one spot on the map. "This is their weakest point. A scout ship landed here last night." "How do you know?" Luke asked. "Tina Rogers sent us data," Eli said. "She cracked part of their signal. Enough to know they're not expecting us. Good," Luke said. "Then we go in before they do." Amanda looked at him. "You really think we can take it?" "Not destroy it," Luke said, "but we can steal it." Eli raised an eyebrow. "You want to hijack an alien ship?" "If we can get inside," Luke said, "we can learn how they work, maybe even use it against them." Silence filled the room. Then Amanda smiled. "Let's do it." In Texas, Maria Harper sat by candlelight. Her son Jake was asleep on the couch. He was tired, scared. She looked out the window. Nothing but dark. No stars. No moon. Just black. She remembered when Luke left. He kissed her forehead, told her to stay safe. He didn't say goodbye. Just, see you soon. She hoped he meant it. Outside, a car rolled up slowly. She turned off the light, listened. Footsteps. A knock. "Maria?" came a voice. She recognized it. Logan, Luke's friend. She opened the door. Logan stepped inside carrying a small bag. "Hey," he said. "Can I crash here tonight?" She nodded. "Of course." He looked around. "You alone?" "Yeah," she said. "Jake's sleeping." Logan set his bag down. "Good. Safer that way." She studied him. "You're not just passing through, are you?" He shook his head. "No. There's something happening. Big." "What kind of something?" He sighed. "We're starting to win." Back in Colorado, the team prepared. They loaded up a van with gear, guns, tools, thermal blankets, low-frequency radios. They dressed in dark clothes. No metal, no bright colors. They were ghosts, and ghosts don't make noise. They drove through the mountains. No headlights. Just maps and memory. Hours later, they reached the drop point. The alien scout ship sat in a valley below. Small, sleek, black. No lights, no movement, just sitting there, like it was waiting. "You sure this is a good idea?" one of the soldiers asked. Luke looked at him. "Nope. But it's the only one we've got." They moved down the hill. Slow, quiet. Every step mattered. Meanwhile, in Washington, President Harold Bennett sat in a dark room. General Carter stood beside him. "How's the mission going?" Bennett asked. Carter checked his tablet. "They're in position, about to move." Bennett nodded. "Tell them to be careful." Carter looked at him. "They're already ghosts. What more can they do?" Bennett stared at the screen showing the alien ships above Earth. "Survive," he said. At the alien site, Luke and his team crept closer. They found the entrance on the side of the ship. It looked like a hatch. Sealed tight. Amanda pulled out a tool, started working on the lock. "How long?" Luke asked. 5 minutes, she said. "Maybe less." "We don't have 5 minutes," Luke said. "We have 2. Sure enough, a sound came from the forest behind them. Clicking. Metal. Movement. Aliens. 2 Virex guards walked into the clearing. Tall. Thin. Eyes like shadows. They scanned the area, looked right past the humans. Luke held his breath. So did everyone else. The guard stayed for a moment, then turned and walked away. Everyone exhaled. "That was close," one soldier whispered. Amanda finished the lock. The hatch opened with a soft hiss. Inside, the air was cold. Lights flickered. Machines hummed. They slipped inside. Inside the ship, everything was strange. Walls curved. Panels glowed. Buttons weren't buttons, just touch points. "Doctor." Parker touched one. Nothing happened. He tried another. A screen lit up. Data scrolled. Codes. Maps. Locations. "This is gold," he whispered. Amanda sat at the control panel. "I might be able to copy this." "Do it fast," Luke said. "We don't know how long we've got." She connected a small drive. Started downloading. Seconds ticked by. "Done," she said. They grabbed what they could and moved toward the exit. But then, alert, alert, unauthorized presence detected. The lights turned red, alarms blared. "Run," Luke shouted. They bolted for the hatch. Shots fired behind them, not bullets, beams of energy. One hit the wall near Amanda. She ducked, kept running. They jumped out of the ship, rolled into the dirt, ran, into the trees, away. They didn't stop until they were miles away, breathing hard, bleeding, alive. Amanda clutched the drive. "We got it." Luke looked at her. Then it was worth it. They radioed back to base. "Mission successful. Luke said. We have the data. From Washington, President Bennett smiled. Good, he said. Now let's see what they're hiding. Back on the alien flagship, Shadow Voice watched the report. Human forces infiltrated scout unit. Stolen data unknown. He paused, then spoke. This species does not fear us. Another commander replied, They will learn. Shadow Voice looked at the screen showing Earth, dark, silent, hidden, but not gone. They hunt in the dark, he said. So must we. Orders were given, new drones launched, new weapons tested. The Virex would adapt. They always did. But now, they were afraid, because for the first time, they didn't know what was coming next. In Colorado, the team arrived back at the lab, exhausted, hurt, proud. Tina Rogers met them at the door. Give me that drive, she said. She plugged it in. Screens filled with alien data, maps, plans, tech specs. This is huge, she whispered. Elijah, a young hacker, leaned over. What's that? Tina pointed. This is their command network. If we can break into it, we can listen in, Eli said. Or worse, Tina said. We can talk back. Everyone looked at each other. A plan formed. Something bigger than just hiding. Something smarter. They were going to fight back. Not with bombs. Not with guns. With knowledge. Later that night, Luke sat outside. He stared at the sky. No stars. Just dark. But he knew something now. Darkness wasn't scary. Not to humans. They'd lived in caves, walked on the moon, fought monsters. And now? Now they fought gods. And they wouldn't lose, because they understood something the aliens didn't. In the dark, humans don't hide. They wait. And they strike. The humans had been hiding, not out of fear, but out of smart. Now it was time to stop hiding. It was time to fight back. And they weren't going to use darkness anymore. They were going to use light. In Colorado, Amanda Cruz sat at her desk. The stolen alien data filled the screen in front of her. Maps, codes, tech specs. She read through them fast. Then she smiled. I think I know how to blind them, she said. Dar Eli Parker looked up from his notes. What? They're sensors, she said. They rely on heat, infrared, motion. So? He asked. So, she said. If we can overload those signals, hit them with a burst of fake data, we can make their ships go blind. Eli stared. At her. You're saying we can turn their own tech against them? Yes, she said. We show them what real darkness feels like. He stood up. We need to tell the others. In Texas, Luke Harper cleaned his rifle. His wife Maria watched him from across the room. You leaving again? She asked. Yeah, he said. Soon. She didn't ask when he'd be back. She just nodded. Jake, their son, walked in. Are you going to fight? The boy asked. Luke looked at him. Not alone, he said. But yeah, we are. Jake swallowed hard. Can I come? Next time, Luke said. Jake tried to smile. Maria walked over. Be safe, she whispered. Luke kissed her forehead. Always, he said. In Washington, President Harold Bennett sat in the war room. General Carter stood beside him. They're ready, Carter said. Bennett nodded. Good. On the screen, new plans showed up, fake signals, decoy bases, traps, all built to confuse the aliens. We hit them where they're weakest, Carter said. We make them look the wrong way. And while they're looking, Bennett said, we strike. Carter smiled. Sounds like a plan. Back in Colorado, Amanda and Tina Rogers worked nonstop. They built a signal booster, a device that could send out a fake heat signature, big enough to fool the Virex's sensors. This should work, Tina said. Should? Amanda asked. Tina grinned. Let's say 90% sure. Amanda laughed. Better than nothing. They loaded the device onto a drone. It took off into the night sky. flew far, landed in a dry field hundreds of miles away. Then they activated. It heat spiked, light flashed, movement appeared. To the aliens, it looked like a human base. Alive, armed, dangerous. Above Earth, the Virex watched. Their sensors lit up. Target detected. Location, unknown. Size, large. Shadow voice. Studied the data. Send units. He ordered. Ships detached from the main fleet. They flew down, aimed for the false signal, prepared to destroy it. But there was nothing there, just empty land, and a blinking box, waiting. Below, in a hidden bunker, Amanda watched the screen. "They're falling for it," she said. Eli stood beside her. "Good. Now let's show them what we've got." He pressed a button. From the ground, 6 small rockets launched. They rose fast. Silent. Invisible. They hit the alien ships from behind. No big explosions, just quick bursts. One ship went dark. Then another. Within minutes, 3 enemy vessels were destroyed. No one even saw them coming. "That's it?" someone asked. "For now," Amanda said. "We don't want to scare them too much." Eli raised an eyebrow. "Scare them?" "Make them confused," she corrected. He nodded. Even better. In Texas, Logan met up with Luke. They packed gear into a truck. "Heard about the attack?" Logan said. "You mean the one that wasn't really an attack?" Luke asked. "Yeah," Logan said. "Smart move." Luke smiled. "We're not fighting fair anymore. We're fighting smart." Logan looked at him. "How long before they figure it out?" "Doesn't matter," Luke said. "We just need to stay ahead of them." They drove through the night, heading north, toward the next mission. In Washington, the president called for a global update. Leaders from around the world joined the call. "We've made our first real moves," Bennett said. "We're hitting them where they least expect it." "Have they responded?" a leader from Canada asked. "Yes," Bennett said, "but not how we thought." He turned to General Carter. "Show them." Carter played a video feed. It showed alien ships scanning the skies, searching, confused. They couldn't find real targets. They kept attacking fake ones. "They're losing control," Bennett said, "because we're not playing by their rules." Leader from France spoke. "What's next?" Bennett looked at the camera. "We take the fight to them." In Colorado, the team gathered. They reviewed maps, studied old satellite images, planned the next strike. "This one's bigger," Luke said. "Of course it is," Amanda said. "We hit their command relay," Luke explained. "Shut it down, and they lose contact with half their fleet." "Easier said than done," someone muttered. Luke looked at them. "Nothing worth doing is easy." They packed up, loaded the trucks, moved out, into the cold, into the dark. "Ready?" Meanwhile, in orbit, Shadow Voice watched the reports. Human forces remain undetected. False signals increase. Losses unexplained. He paused, then sent a message to all units. "Increase scans. Use new filters. Find them." He turned to his second-in-command. "This species is clever," he said. "They will fail," the other replied. Shadow Voice looked at the dark planet below. "Perhaps," he said. "But not yet." Back on Earth, the team reached the target zone. A massive alien relay sat on top of a hill. Black metal. Glowing lines. Watched by guards. "We can't walk in," one soldier said. "We don't have to," Luke said. "We bring the noise." He pulled out a small speaker, placed it in the dirt, pressed a button. Sound came out. Low, deep, like a heartbeat. The guards turned toward it, stepped forward, away from the relay. "Now," Luke whispered. They moved fast, sneaked past the entrance, reached. The Corps placed charges, ran. The explosion lit the night. Metal flew, wires snapped. The relay died. Silence, then, alert, alert, signal lost. Above, the alien fleet blinked. Half their network was gone. They were flying blind. Again, In Washington, President Bennett smiled. "Good job," he said. General Carter looked at him. "They're starting to feel it." "Feel what?" Bennett asked. "Fear," Carter said. Bennett nodded. "Good," he said. "They should." Later that night, Luke sat outside the base. He stared at the sky. No stars, just black. But something had changed. Humans weren't hiding anymore. They were hunting. And the aliens? They were starting to understand. Darkness didn't scare humans, because in the dark, they were strongest. The war was changing, not with loud guns or big ships, but with silence, with smart moves, and with a plan that no one saw coming. In Colorado, Amanda Cruz stood over a long table. Maps, wires, machines. All around her, people worked fast. Some built small drones. Others coded fake signals. Some loaded up old alien tech they had stolen. Daughter Eli Parker walked in. He looked tired but focused. "You ready?" Amanda asked. He nodded. "As I'll ever be." She pointed at a screen showing alien positions above Earth. "Their command network is broken," she said. "Half their fleet can't talk to each other." "Good," Eli said. "Then it's time." They had one chance, a big one, to send a message. Not just to the aliens, but to every living thing watching from the stars. Humans don't run. We fight. And we win. In Texas, Luke Harper stood by his truck. His wife Maria watched him pack. Jake stood beside her. "Are you going away again?" the boy asked. Luke smiled. "Yeah, but not far." Jake tried not to look scared. "When will you come back?" Luke crouched down. "Soon, real soon." Maria stepped forward. "Be careful," she said. Luke kissed her forehead. "Always." Then, he turned and walked into the dark, into the cold, toward the next mission. In Washington, President Harold Bennett sat in the war room. General Carter stood beside him. Reports came in fast. Fake signals, false targets, enemy losses. The VRX were confused, angry, afraid. "They're losing control," Carter said. Bennett nodded. "Good, let them." Carter looked at him. "You sure about this? If they regroup—" "They won't," Bennett said. "They can't." He pointed at the screen showing the alien flagship. "We hit them where it hurts," he said. "We go inside." Carter raised an eyebrow. "You want to board their ship?" "Yes," Bennett said. "And when we do, we make them listen." Back in Colorado, the team loaded up trucks full of gear, weapons, tools, and something else. A captured alien scout ship. It was black, sleek, deadly, and now it was theirs. Luke walked up to Amanda. "You sure this thing still works?" he asked. Amanda smiled. "Mostly." He looked at the ship. "Mostly?" she laughed. "Don't worry, I fixed the worst parts." He patted the side. "Just get me close enough to punch them in the face." Hours later, the plan began. The drone network lit up across the globe. False heat sources. Fake radio signals. Decoy bases. Aliens flew toward them like moths to fire. They fired missiles. Hit nothing. Wasted fuel. Lost ships. On the surface, humans waited. Hidden, silent, ready. Above Earth, Shadow Voice watched the reports. False targets increase. Command signal lost. Enemy remains unseen. He paused, then sent an order. Focus on primary base. Increase alert. Find them. He turned to his second in command. "This species knows how to disappear," he said. "They will fail," the other replied. Shadow Voice looked at the dark planet below. "Perhaps," he said, "but not yet." The human fleet took off, not big, not loud, just fast. 6 ships, all modified. Using stolen alien code, they flew undetected through the enemy lines. At the front was Luke's team. Inside the captured scout vessel, they rode in silence. No music. No talking. Just breathing. And waiting. Amanda sat at the controls. We're getting close, she said. Elijah, the young hacker, looked nervous. What if they see us? She looked at him. They already did. And they didn't notice. He swallowed hard. Okay. They reached the alien flagship. Huge, black, lifeless-looking, but full of danger. Armed guards, defense systems, traps. Luke stood up. Time to go. He checked his gear, loaded his weapon, looked at his team. Remember, he said, we don't stay long, we hit hard, we leave faster. They moved out, onto the enemy ship, into the dark. Inside, everything was silent. Lights flickered, machines hummed, air felt cold. Luke led the group. They moved slow. Quiet steps, eyes open, watching, listening, then a sound metal movement, something was coming. Get ready, Luke whispered. The first guard turned the corner, tall, thin, eyes like shadows. Before it could react, Amanda shot first, a burst of energy. The guard fell. Move, Luke said. They ran down the hall, turned corners, avoided cameras, found the core, a large machine, glowing red, pumping light, powering the whole ship. That's it, Amanda said. We overload it and the whole ship goes dark. How long? Luke asked. 5 minutes, she said. Maybe less. Then work fast. She started hacking. Buttons pressed. Codes cracked. Lights flashed. Alarms beeped. Alert. Alert. Unauthorized presence detected. Crap, someone muttered. Aliens came running. Fast. Aggressive. Shotguns fired. Energy beams cut through air. One hit the wall near Luke. He ducked, rolled, fired, downed. Another? Keep going, he shouted. Amanda typed harder. Almost there. Outside, the human fleet fought. Small ships against big ones, they dodged lasers, shot down drones, held the line, so the boarding team could finish the job. Eli sat in the main control room. They've got company, he said. I know, Tina. Rogers said, but they'll make it. She tapped a few keys, sent a signal. Attack incoming. Attack incoming. The aliens turned, looked the wrong way. Again. Back inside. Alarms blared louder. Red lights flashed. Amanda finished the last line. Done. Now what? Someone asked. Run, Luke said. They bolted for the exit. Shots. Behind them. Walls exploded. Fire followed. They jumped onto the rope line, retracting fast, pulling them out. Back to the scout ship. Back to safety. Below them, the core pulsed. Once, twice, then, overload complete. Light grew, brighter, hotter, then, boom. The alien flagship exploded, not loud, not flashy, just bright, very bright, visible from Earth, visible even in the dark. In Washington, Bennett watched the sky, gasps filled the room. Did we get it? Someone asked. Carter looked at the data. Yes, he said. We did. The flagship was gone. The signal was gone. Half the alien fleet blinked out, confused, lost, scared. Let them feel it, Bennett said. Feel what? Carter asked. Fear. In Colorado, the team returned, exhausted, hurt, alive. Luke looked at Amanda. You good? She nodded. Yeah, just tired. He smiled. Good job. She looked at the sky. We showed them, she whispered. Yeah, he said. We did. In Texas, Maria looked up. Jake stood beside her. Is that Dad? The boy asked. She didn't answer, just held his hand, watched the light fade, and knew. Things were different now. The war wasn't over. But the tide had turned, because humans didn't need light to win. We needed darkness. And when the time came, we switched off the lights. The war was over, not with a treaty, not with a speech, but with silence. The Virex left. What was left of their fleet turned away. No more bombs, no more attacks, just quiet. And for the first time in months, people looked up at the sky and saw stars. In Colorado, Amanda Cruz stood outside the underground lab. She wore a heavy coat. Her breath came out as fog. Beside her, Dr. Eli Parker leaned on a railing. "You think they're really gone?" she asked. He nodded slowly. Now she looked at the sky. No ships, no red lights, just blue. "It doesn't feel real," she said. Eli smiled. "Nothing about this has felt real." They both laughed a little. Inside, people moved around. Scientists, soldiers, survivors. Some were fixing things. Some were rebuilding. Others just sat and stared at the walls, trying to believe they made it. Tina Rogers walked by with a tablet. "We picked up new signals," she said. "Not from the Virex." "Then who?" Amanda asked. Tina shrugged. "Not sure yet, but someone else is listening." Amanda looked back at the sky. Someone else was watching, and they had just learned what humans could do. In Texas, Maria Harper lit a fire in the small wood stove. Her son Jake sat at the table, drawing pictures. Outside, the wind blew through the trees. Cold, quiet, safe. A car rolled up slowly. Jake looked out the window. His face lit up. "Mom, look." Maria stood, walked to the door, opened it. Luke stood there, dirty, tired, smiling. "Hey," he said. Maria didn't say anything. She just hugged him, tight. Jake ran out and jumped into his arms. "You're back." Luke held him close. "Yeah," he said. "I'm back." In Washington, President Harold Bennett stood on the steps of the old White House. The building was damaged. Parts of it still burned, but people gathered around him, reporters, soldiers, citizens. He looked at them all. "Did it," he said. "We stood in the dark, we fought back, and we won." Cheers rose, not loud, not wild, but real. General Carter stood beside him. "You want to tell them everything?" he asked. Bennett shook his head. "Not yet." Carter raised an eyebrow. "Why not?" "Because some stories need time," Bennett said, "and because the galaxy is listening." He looked up. So did everyone else. The sky was clear, and somewhere out there, humans were no longer prey. We were something else now. Something dangerous. In Colorado, Luke joined the team at the lab. He looked tired, hurt, but alive. "Heard you caused quite the mess," Amanda said. Luke smiled. "Just doing my job." She handed him a cup of coffee. "Well, you did it." He took a sip. "Guess so." There was a pause. Then he looked at her. "You ever think about going back out there?" She frowned. "Out where?" "Into space," he said. "Now that we've got a ship or two." She thought about it. "Maybe," she said. "If you're coming too." He grinned. "Wouldn't miss it." Weeks passed. Life began to return. Cities started to rebuild. Power came back. Lights turned on, but not all at once. People remembered what happened, how hiding in the dark saved them, and how fighting smart changed everything. Monuments went up across the world, not for kings or generals, for regular people, hackers, engineers, soldiers, families, those who stayed strong when the world almost ended. One monument read, "They believed darkness would scare us." Then, we switched off the lights. In Texas, Luke and Logan sat outside near a fire. They drank coffee and watched the stars. "You staying here?" Logan asked. Luke nodded. "For now." Logan looked at him. "You know they'll come looking for you." "Who will?" "The government," Logan said. "They'll want you for the next fight." Luke smiled. "Let them look." Logan laughed. "You deserve peace." Luke looked at his home. Maria inside, Jake playing. "Maybe I already found it," he said. In Washington, Tina Rogers sat in front of a screen. New data came in, signals from far away, not from the Virex. Someone else, aliens, dozens of them, watching Earth, listening, learning. No, she whispered. Eli walked in. "No what?" She pointed at the screen. "We scared the Virex." "Good," he said. "But now others are watching." He looked at the data, then smiled. Let them come. On a distant planet, an alien leader studied reports. Human species. Dangerous. Tactics. Unpredictable. Status. Not to be engaged lightly. He sent a message across the stars. Do not attack Earth. They do not run. They wait. And they win. Back on Earth, a child stood outside a small school. His name was Tyler. He looked up at the sky, at the stars, at the dark. His teacher walked up. What are you thinking about? She asked. Tyler smiled. About what's out there, he said. And what do you think? He looked at her. I think, he said, we should go find them. The teacher smiled. Maybe one day, she said. But if we do, she looked up. We better bring the lights.